When people talk of spirit children or demonic children, they usually refer to children believed to carry dark energies, spiritual attachments, or reincarnations of troubled or cursed spirits. They are children born with a mission, a blessing, or a curse depending on the spirit world's mission or purpose. When children, whether adopted or born in that home, behave strangely, show odd maturity, or influence the home atmosphere, elders interpret it as a child that carries a spiritual lineage, possibly connected to ancestral spirits, water spirits, or demonic forces. But then you need to know that every person is born under a spiritual covenant, often tied to their ancestors. So if a child's lineage carried dark pacts, for example, blood sacrifices, witchcraft practices, or demonic dedications, these covenants may operate even after adoption. In case that child is adopted by another person or another family, it may still affect them even in that home, unless it is spiritually broken through cleansing and other issues. And this is why those days you could find families performing ceremonies, especially when a child is adopted into a home. They could find them performing rituals and other ceremonies in order to break these demonic pacts or these forces attached to that child. So there are some signs that can tell you that this child has a demonic pact, or this child is a demonic child or a spirit child. And one of them is they speak things that are beyond their age. You find a child is young, but whatever he speaks things of old people, things that are supposed to be spoken by mature people. And some of them have recurring nightmares and sleep disturbances. They shout at night, they wake up and shout in the night. And some of them are abnormally strong-willed or emotionally detached. These are children, when you tell them, you climb that tree, that tall tree, and cut the branches, they'll tell you, I can manage it. They have that strong willingness to do things. Or some of them are emotionally detached. Even if something very strong or very strange happens near them, they are not affected. Even if someone dies or a relative dies, for them, they are relaxed. They're like nonchalant kind of people. They don't worry about anything happening near them. They are not affected. And some of them can cause spiritual unrest in a home. Quarrels, arguments, sicknesses, misfortunes, etc., depending on the purpose of the spirit world or the spiritual world. And most of them also resist prayers. You find when you talk about bringing pastors or priests to pray in a home, they resist that. They refuse. They are resistant to prayers. Or even holy symbols or gatherings. When they see something that is holy near them, they feel disturbed by that. A cross, a rosary, or anything, Bibles, anything. They don't feel comfortable near those symbols. And if there are holy gatherings like prayers or people having a holy meeting, they don't attend that, or they resist that kind of a meeting, either in their home or anywhere in their community. However, when we look at all these signs, we don't need to conclude that everyone who's having this sign is a demonic child or a spirit child. Some of them have psychological or emotional causes, depending on what happened to that child in the past. So discernment is vital before we conclude anything here, or before we label any child as demonic or as a spirit child. However, if one is a spirit child, the only way we can get that child out of that demonic experience is through cleansing. We take them through spiritual cleansing and consistent love and stability, as demons thrive in fear, rejection, and neglect. When you neglect or reject a child or hate a child, that is when demons thrive. That is where evil spirits thrive the most. So the only way of fighting them is by showing this child love, showing them compassion and stability, showing them that they are loved. That demonic spirit will leave him. So this is what we mean by a spirit child and what we can do to manage a spirit child.